everybody, this is Chris, the old-ass retro gamer. Today I'm going to discuss the original Xbox games that I have in my collection. When I sold off the majority of my collection back when I lost my job, the main reason I kept a select few was because I wanted to have the ones on hand to keep playing that would work on my Xbox 360 after I had sold my Xbox. And since that was not completely backwards compatible, I only had maybe 20 games that I could keep to actually play. So when I made the decision to get back into the collecting, I was going to make sure that I got most of those games back. And since these are relatively easy to collect, every store that I go to buy games at has tons of these games, and they're relatively cheap. It's like the PlayStation 2. I mean, they're all over the place. I've managed to collect quite a few and more. When it comes to the Xbox itself, when it was released, I think that was in 2001 or 2. I think it was 2001. I was initially really reluctant to get it because I was cool with my PlayStation 2. I loved it to death. I was a big fan of the Sony systems, and I was still a big fan of Nintendo. Microsoft trying to break into the gaming industry like this kind of rubbed me the wrong way for some reason. I don't know why, but I just kind of felt like Sega had bowed out, and Microsoft decided to come in and take their place. And as far as I was concerned, they had no business being there because I loved my Dreamcast, and I was really upset when when Sega decided to cancel it. But there was one game that really changed my mind, and it's a total fanboy thing. When I come to the game, which I do have in my collection, I will tell you why. So let's just start by going over the games that I actually have right now, starting with Battlefield 2. Yeah, everyone bitches about Battlefield 4 being all glitchy and not working online right now, but believe me, when this came out back in the day, I purchased it pretty much as soon as it came out because I'm a big first-person shooter fan, and the presentation and just the way this game plays just blew me away. It is a ton of fun. Next is Beyond Good and Evil. It's a adventure action game where you play a photographer during like an alien invasion or something. I've never actually played this. This and a number of other games that are in my collection were actually given to me by a couple of people that I know. When I decided to get back into gaming, they saw that I was posting pictures on Facebook of the games that I had been buying. And as a side project, I run a soundboard for a burlesque show locally. And the photographer and one of the guys that owns the bar or runs the bar that we do the show at both decided to just give me a stack of Xbox games that they didn't want anymore, and this was one of them. Thank you, Jeff. Blood Rain 2, sorry. Blood Rain 2, sequel to one of my all-time favorite games. This one's not as good because it's really, really hard, but it's still a ton of fun. And then this is the game that I bought my Xbox for because I'm a total fanboy geek. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Around the time that I decided to make the decision to buy the Xbox, I had just gotten into Buffy, and I tried to resist watching it as long as I could because I thought it was going to be really stupid because I hate the movie that the show is based on. But I started watching the show, and I really, really got into it really heavily. And when I saw that there was a game based on it coming out, and especially that it was actually getting decent reviews, and I'd seen some footage and it looked really cool, I was like, you know what the hell, I'll just go out and buy it. And I was not disappointed. This game is a lot of fun, even though nowadays it's kind of hard to control and kind of iffy in the play control. But it's still a really fun game nowadays. My girlfriend actually was playing this not too long ago. And that leads to Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds, the sequel. Not as much fun as the first one was as far as I was concerned, but it's still a pretty good game. Burnout 2 Point of Impact, the developer's cut. This game is a lot of fun, especially the crash mode. Here's a game that's gone up in price a lot in the last few years, actually. And I was glad I bought it day one. Conker Live and Reloaded. This is a remake of the Nintendo 64 Conker's Bad Fur Day. Foul language and poop jokes all intact. It's still pretty awesome, just upgraded graphics. Crimson Skies, The High Road to Revenge. This is a really, really fun online adventure airplane simulator type of thing. It's hard to describe, but it's really, really fun. I think it's based on like a pen and paper RPG or something. Maybe a computer game. Destroy All Humans. It's a pretty decent action game. Deus Ex, Invisible War. Yeah, this is the second game in the series. It's a role-playing game that is very involving. It's one of the first big first-person shooter role-playing games I ever played, and it's a lot of fun. It's really cool and really hard. The limited collector's edition of Doom 3. I know a lot of people don't like Doom 3. I love it. I think it's one of the best first-person shooters ever made, since I'm a huge fan of them anyway. And of Doom coming back in a big way like this when this came out for the Xbox, it put a big smile on my face. I was so happy when they brought it out. It was so cool. And then there's also Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil, the expansion pack. Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Yeah, this is one of those gigantic open world RPGs. I tried playing it back in the day, and I really couldn't get into it, but now, since I've played Skyrim, I'm thinking of going back and trying it again, now that my tastes have sort of changed. Got this from Jeff. Thanks again. Another one from Jeff, Enter the Matrix. I have this for the PlayStation 2 also, but like I said, I'm collecting, and even if it's a duplicate from another system, I'll take it. Another one from Jeff, Fable. I've never played this. I heard how much people were disappointed in this when it first came out because of all the promises. I think his name is Peter Molyneux was making at the time as to how awesome this was going to be, and it ended up being like not even a third of what he promised was in it. So I was really reluctant back in the day to try it, but now I will. Yeah, there's a Fallout side story game, Brotherhood of Steel. I remember reading about this when it first came out. I never picked it up, but I found it for about $2.50 at a store locally, and I picked it up, and it's actually a pretty fun game. This one I got from Jimmy at the bar. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. This one is actually pretty hard to find, and the price is rising up, and he just gave it to me for free because he thinks I'm a cool guy, I guess. I will not be able to thank him enough for this. But this game, I remember I had this back in the day. This game is supremely awesome dungeon crawl game. I love it to death. Forgotten Realms Demon Stone, another dungeon crawler. Fusion Frenzy. It's a pretty fun game show type of game. This is one of the launch games for the Xbox. I got that one from Jeff. Godfather the game. I own the limited edition for the PS2, but having this is also pretty cool for the Xbox. Yeah, the game that proved that Rare had lost their touch, and I love Rare as a game developing company. But yeah, Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Yeah, when Microsoft bought Rare out, they completely tainted them forever with the mark of shame because this game is not all that great. But then again, it's still a Rare game, so it has some cool stuff going on, but it's not that great. It's really disappointing, especially from them. Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas. Got that from Jeff. Thank you. Here's a really cool one from Sega, Gun Valkyrie. It's a really cool action shooter. I've never heard of this before. I picked it up for about $2.50 at a local store, and it's phenomenal. It's a ton of fun. Here's one that got banned. The Guy Game. The moment I heard that this had been banned, I ran out and picked up a copy before it could be pulled off the shelves. Why was it banned? Because apparently the game is like a game show on the beach with scantily clad spring break girls. And what happened was they didn't really ask if any of these girls were over the age of like 18 or 21 or whatever it was. Because one of the stipulations was that if you lost, you had to show your breasts. And a couple of the girls that were in the game were not of age and showed their breasts. And when, I don't know if they decided to sue or their parents found out or whatnot, but yeah, they ended up pulling the game because it had underage girls, boobies flopping around in it. The game is harmless. Yeah, there's boobs in it. Who cares? But it's a collector's item as far as I'm concerned. Super, super, super awesome game. Half-Life 2. Cannot praise this one enough. Took me long enough to beat it too. I had the Xbox version back in the day. It took me to get the orange box for the Xbox 360 in order to beat it. Halo Game of the Year Edition. Pretty awesome. And Halo 2 also. Can't say enough good things about the Halo games. I'm a big, big fan of them. Got this one from Jeff also. Hitman 2. Never really got into these games back when they came out, but a friend of mine played the newest one. I think it's Absolution for the current systems. And he talked about it for days on end and how awesome it was and how the choices you can make to pull off your missions. And after hearing that, I'm going to give this game another shot. Hunter the Reckoning. This game is based on the world from World of Darkness. It's a pen and paper or pencil and paper RPG. Not the greatest game in the world, but they're fun little, dungeon crawler type of games. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. It's a really fun Indiana Jones game, and there's not too many of these out there, which is kind of a shame. I mean, they milk Star Wars for all it's worth, but not Indiana Jones. That's a stain, I say. The limited edition of Jade Empire, made by the people who brought you Knights of the Old Republic. This game is kick-ass martial arts role-playing game. It didn't get any love when it came out. I mean, it got good reviews, but nobody really bought it, which is why we never got a sequel. But BioWare knows what they're doing, and they proved it with this game that they didn't need Star Wars behind them, or Lucasfilm behind them to make a good game. That game is the shit. It is awesome. Jet Set Radio Future, sequel to the Dreamcast game. Pretty cool. Justice League Heroes, to beat 'em up. It's featuring DC characters. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Can't complain. Legacy of Kain Defiance teams up Kain and the character from the Soul Reaver games. I think his name is Raziel. This game is pretty awesome. It is. It is so much fun. I love the Legacy of Kain games in general. They're just really cool atmosphere, and the gameplay is really fun. Pretty cool. I like it a lot. One of my favorites, Max Payne. Can't get any awesomer than that. Is that even a word? Max Payne 2. Awesome, awesome. Double awesome. Mech Assault and Mech Assault 2, Lone Wolf. Two pretty awesome mech games for the Xbox. I can't praise them enough either. I think they're completely amazing. Got Mercenaries for the Xbox as well. I also have this for the PS2. It's open world action game, kind of like Grand Theft Auto. Metal Arms, Glitch in the System, another really cool action game with a little cute robot as your main character. Metal Gear Solid 2, Substance. This is the companion to Metal Gear Solid 2. It has extra items that you can collect. There's a lot of bonus stuff you can do. It's basically the same game, just extremely tweaked and kind of with a weird sense of humor, too. I highly recommend it. It's really cool. And the one for Part 3 also, Subsistence, is actually really hard to find. Mortal Kombat Armageddon and Mortal Kombat Deception, the Collector's Edition. I'm still trying to get a copy of Deadly Alliance. I love Mortal Kombat. It's one of my favorite things in the world. And every one of these games I pick up on day one because I like them so much. So much. Otogi Myth of Demons. It's a really cool game from Sega. Another one, if you don't own it and you're collecting for the Xbox, you need to run out and get it right now. There's a sequel. I see it at a lot of stores nearby, and every time I go there, with the intention of buying it, I always see something better, and I'm like, God damn it, I forgot to go get Otogi 2. But this game is super awesome. You need to pick it up. Panzer Dragoon Orta. This game is a sequel to the Sega Saturn games, and it's even better, although it does not beat Panzer Dragoon Saga as far as I'm concerned. Sega made a lot of really good games for the Xbox, even though Microsoft kind of screwed them over, which is kind of shocking to me. Pariah. It's a first-person shooter. Pretty awesome. Psychonauts. Yeah. I hated this game when it first came out. I rented it, and I was just kind of like, it's another platformer. Meh. But it got great reviews, and it was being praised by everybody, and I tried it again, and it actually is really, really fun. I don't know what I was thinking the first time I played it. This one I found at a Goodwill, and I've never heard of this game before, but I'm a big fan of the guy who made it. It's American McGee Presents Scrapland. I love American McGee stuff. American McGee's Alice, I had that for the PC, and I played the crap out of that game, and I never heard that he made a different property. And when I found this at the Goodwill, I was like, you damn right I snapped this up. I mean, it was only like $4, but damn. And it is a really cool game. The environment, the world it takes place in is just mind-blowing. It's awesome. That guy is so cool. He comes up with the greatest stuff. Silent Hill 4 The Room. Yeah. Not the best in the series. Simpsons Road Rage. Got this from Jeff. Soul Calibur 2, my favorite in the series. Each one of the Soul Calibur games that came out for different systems had a different exclusive character that everyone else did, or the other ones did. And this one came with Spawn, which is why I bought this one over the others. I really could give a shit if Heihachi came in the PlayStation 2 one or if Link came in the GameCube one, but I'm actually looking to pick those up too now. Sphinx, the Cursed Mummy. It's a okay action game, I guess. Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. Got these from Jeff also. Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. It's a sequel to Jedi Outcast, which is one of my favorite games of all time. This one's pretty good too. It's not Jedi Outcast, but it's fun. And if anyone knows where I can get a copy of Jedi Outcast for the Xbox, let me know because I'm dying to get that back into my collection. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the BioWare RPG. This game is super awesome. And then there's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, which was not made by BioWare and is not so awesome. It's not bad, it's just it could have been a hell of a lot better. Star Wars Obi-Wan, I think this was a launch title for the system. It's not bad. I mean, for a launch game, it showed a lot of promise for the system, but it's not a great game by any means. Tao Feng, it's a fighting game designed by Microsoft. It's not bad. Could be worse. It's definitely not Way of the Warrior for the 3DO. But yeah, this is actually not that bad of a game. The characters are really cool, actually. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, for a movie-based game, this one's not too bad. It actually follows the plot of the movie pretty well and is actually really fun. Another movie-based game, actually this is a sequel, The Thing. This game is awesome. It is like a survival horror game, but if you've seen The Thing, you know what kind of effed up stuff happens in those movies, so imagine that on a video game level. I mean, it's oh, goddamn. Goddamn! 13, pretty awesome game. It's a first-person shooter game that's done with cell shading. Really fun. Jimmy gave me this game, and I had no idea that there was a third game in the series until he handed it over to me. And that was Toe Jam and Earl 3, Mission to Earth. I had no idea there was another Toe Jam and Earl game after the Genesis games. And this one returns to the play style of the first game, and it's not a side-scroller. This one's actually an adventure game again. And it's multiplayer. And you can download new content over the internet, which I can't do anymore. But super, super awesome. Thank you so much for that, Jimmy. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six 3. And then when I started repurchasing all my games, I made damn sure this is one of the first ones I got. Tron 2.0 Killer App. I am a huge Tron fan. As you can tell, I'm wearing my Tron Legacy Biodigital Jazz shirt. And for a first-person shooter in the Tron universe, god damn, dude. This game is the shit. I love it. I had it for the PC. I loved it. I played that Light Cycle game online like you wouldn't believe. This game it's the same game, just ported over to the Xbox. Super awesome. So much fun. And it added to the whole mythology of Tron, which I thought was great. I liked the fact that they had Cindy Morgan come in and play Mithria, and Bruce Boxleitner, lending his voice again. It was so awesome. Yeah, this game is amazing. Ultimate Spider-Man, which I like better than the standard Spider-Man games. Unreal Championship, and Unreal 2: The Awakening. Another movie-based game that is super awesome, The Warriors. I swear, we only hear about the bad ones and no one ever talks about the good ones. The Warriors is amazing. I love the movie even though it's cheesy as all hell and dated like fuck. But the game is kind of like an open-world game like Grand Theft Auto. It's actually, Rockstar released it. It is super fun. I mean, it has the majority of the voice cast from the movie in it too. It's a sequel, actually. If you have not played this game, get off your ass and go get a copy. It's awesome. And then lastly, X-Men Legends, which I also own for the PS2. I think, Jeff gave me this one as well. It's a cool beat-em-up. So that is my current original Xbox collection. I'm still going to get more. You damn straight I am. But until then, if you have any questions, concerns, or comments about the show, please feel free to let me know in the comments section below. If you have any ideas for episodes, things you want me to talk about, review, see if I can find, let me know. I'm open to any and all suggestions. And until then, I am Chris. Thanks for watching. I'm the Old Ass Retro Gamer. Come back again next time. Start off with a little Jack and Coke action. Loosen up the lips a little.